Hello, welcome to the WFG iBottomline tutorial series. This is the full version. I'm Kevin Jones-Dioka, your sales and success coach here at WFG. Thank you for signing up for iBottomline. If you didn't and you're just looking for a NetSheet app that works for you, go ahead and go to iBottomline.com. That is the letter I, bottomline.com, and download, sign up, and you'll have access. Just choose me, Kevin Jones-Dioka, as your sales rep. So enjoy this. You're going to see the desktop version. I will explain the phone app as we go through it and what the differences are, but they're pretty similar. If you have any questions for me, my phone number, email, all my information is at the end of the video. Like it, enjoy it, subscribe to me. Talk to you soon. Bye. Use iBottomline outside of the short sale and the refi. Those are pretty self-explanatory once you see the rest of them. I'm going to quickly walk through the buyers is going to take the longest because I'm going to show you all the kind of bells and whistles on the net sheets. And then the seller to net, those are going to be pretty quick and easy to get through. And then I'm going to show you the settings, how to reset your defaults. And then we'll go through some of this custom print tutorial, enhancement updates, address book, things like that. So let's start here. I am Kevin Jones-Dioka. I am your sales rep here at WFG National Title. Thank you for choosing me. If you did not, and someone's sharing this video, then thank you for choosing WFG in general. I am also a sales and success coach. If you need to get a hold of me, my phone number is right here, 775-357-2995. So here is the buyer net sheet. Click on that. You can also get to it by clicking on any of these up here. First thing, prepared by, it's going to have your name in there. If it doesn't have your name, you're going to want to fix that. And then prepared for, we're going to go ahead and put John Doe in there and 123 Main Street. This isn't necessary, but it does look more professional if you decide to print or email over the closing costs net sheets to your clients. Now, in the desktop version, here you see it's all laid out on one page. With the phone applications, these two right here, these two sections are on the first page that you're going to see when you click on buyer net sheet. And then on the bottom of the app, you're going to see buttons to go to closing cost, prepaids, and payment. And you can go ahead and they look just like this, and you can change those in those tabs. So let's get to it. The quick and easy version, if you don't want to take too long on this video, is this. Click on sales price, put in whatever the sales price is, hit tab, and boom, it just calculated everything for you. So down here, you'll see the total investment. It automatically defaults to 90%. If you want to change that, just put in 95, hit the tab button or click somewhere else on the screen, and it'll calculate it for you. And again, you'll see down here, the total investment changed to 22,825. If you need to change interest rates, terms, anything that has a block field that you can click on, you can change it. So go ahead and do that. The buyer's net sheet estimates out a closing date for 45 days. Interesting enough, the seller's net sheet only estimates 30 days, but that's for prepaid reasons up here, the prepaid cost. So closing costs, it's typical in our area. Escrow split, titles paid by the seller, the lender's policy is paid by the buyer. If you need to change any of these with the arrows, just click on it. Click on buyer. You'll see now the buyer's fee goes in there for the owner's title policy. Let's click that back to the seller because that's typical right here, all of your loan origination and processing fees. And then down here are the typical closing costs that we see. If you need to change any of that, again, just click on the field. Let's say the recording cost is only $84. Hit tab and it changes it for you. Down here, the seller paid closing costs. What this says here is enter with a negative. If you don't, it's going to add to your buyer's closing costs. So let's go ahead and put negative $3,000. And you'll see over here, it subtracted $3,000 from the closing costs and put it there. If it's not a flat rate and it's a percentage of the sales price, drop the arrow down, hit percent sales price. You could do percentage of the loan if that's what it is, but it's usually not. So let's say percentage of sales price, click there. Let's hit minus 3%, tab again. And now it'll subtract the 3% of the sales price, which is $7,500 on $250. If you don't put the negative in there, what it's going to do is it's going to add it to your buyer's closing costs. So we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and change that there. And again, you'll see it always is updating over here, your total investment. Prepaids, these don't typically change. If you need to change them, again, they have fields that are editable. You can do that. And if you had other costs, you could put that in here too if you want to pad it for your clients or anything. Payments, all of it's laid down here. If you know there's an HOA, let's put the HOA in there. We don't automatically put an HOA fee in. But if it's there, go ahead and put it in if you know it. If there's other expenses, go ahead and put that under the payment field as well. And it'll see it changes your total monthly payment to $20.43. If you don't want it there, you can go ahead and take that out. And this is what your typical loan payment's going to look like. That's really it for the buyer sheet. In the upper left, if you want to learn how to save it and do all that, on the menu, click Save. It'll go ahead and save the sheet for you under the name right here that you put in for the client. You can print a detailed estimate. You can print a quick estimate, just different in pages and what it shows, or you can email those as well. If you save it, on the menu, if you go out, you can come back later, either on the dashboard or on your app. They talk to each other because it goes straight to your account. So if you save it on one, you can bring it up on the other. Click on Open, and you'll see here you can click on John Doe, brings it up, and here's the net sheet. Okay, so I saved it earlier, so you didn't see me hit the save button. So that's it on the buyer's closing cost. If you have any questions, let me know. On the seller's cost, again, you could either go back to the dashboard and click on sellers, or you can click on sellers up here and it'll bring it up. So again, put the prepared for in there, John Doe, 123 Main Street. Also, just a reminder, that's not necessary. You don't have to. It's not a required field, but it does look more professional. And it's the same. Put in the sales price, hit tab, and it calculates everything for you. Here's your seller's net. Now, that seller's net is very high because I did not go over here and put in a loan balance. So let's put in the loan balance that we think the seller owes and the estimated percentage rate that they got when they got the loan. And you'll see it changed over here. Now their estimated net is $52,355. Everything else is the same. Now, what you'll see, I changed in a previous demonstration. I changed my default to go to 5% total for the broker fee for the commissions. This will typically default to 3%. So you'll see 3% and 3% there, but it automatically calculates that in. And again, any of this stuff you can change the same way. Just drop it down. You can choose buyer, seller, or split. And then down here on the closing costs, you can change any of these as well. And if you're looking at the app, again, the closing costs, other costs are on the bottom of the app. So you'll see those there. Click those buttons and you can do that. You'll see there's nothing here in other costs because typically the buyer pays that stuff, but you can go ahead and put stuff in there if you know that it's there. Outside that, the menu button's the same. That never changes. That's really it for the seller sheet. I hope that that was, I know it's quick and easy, to the point, right? If there's annual property taxes, you can go ahead and put that in there too. You'll see here is 3%. Now, it also asks for the buyer's loan type. That only matters for the most part if it's a VA or FHA, USDA, because there's certain things that the buyer can't pay. So if we change this to if we change this to VA, what you'll see is there's a couple of things that changed over here that will change your cost because in VA, the buyer can't pay that stuff. So that's where that matters. Let's go over to seller to net. Seller to net's a neat sheet. It's what you're going to use if a seller in the appointment says, well, I don't really care exactly what the sales price is. I just need to make sure I net $50,000. So what you're going to do, again, you can go in here and put in the name. Make sure you get that in there. And then down here, you want to put in the existing loan balance. Again, we'll go with $180,000 at 4.5%. Annual property tax, let's say it's $2,500, get an idea. And then down here, seller must net. We're going to put $50,000 in here, hit tab, and voila. What it does is it will get as close to this number without going under. And then over here, it'll tell you what the sales price has to be able to net that amount. Now, if you're on the app, this is the one net sheet on the app that it does not automatically calculate for you. In the upper right corner on the app, it'll have a calculate button. For it to do the calculation, you have to press the calculate button. And then everything else here is the same, right? So all of your estimated costs are in here. That's really it with the buyer, seller, seller to net. This is neat. If you want to change, you can change any of this as you go along, and it'll change what they're going to go ahead and do the sales price for. If you change in the sales price, let's say you're looking at 280, it doesn't allow you to do it in this one, right? Because that's where it automatically calculates. So if you want to work it the other way, you have to go back to the seller's net sheet and do a typical seller net sheet. Hope that makes sense to you. Up here, the settings button. Let's go ahead and click on that real quick. This is now getting into the non-working net sheet stuff. I don't know if that made any sense, but what you're going to do is click on settings. These are your defaults. So seller's closing costs, short sale, FHA, VA, USDA loans, buyer costs, refi costs, conventional loans. These are all the defaults. I would heavily suggest that you actually do this first when you get into iBottomline, to go through and make sure that you adjust these. This is where on seller's cost, if I go in here and I say, hey, I don't want it to be 5%, I want it to be 6%, you click this little pencil with the paper, highlight that, hit 6%, and then tabs on this don't work. You got to hit that little green check mark, and it changed for you. Up here, it'll verify, field value has been updated. You can lock these in. If you want to lock them in, that just means you cannot change them on the actual net sheet when you're working individually within the net sheets. You do the same thing. Short sales, FHA, VA, you can go and adjust all of this and make that happen. Buyer, closing costs, refinance, conventional. You can do any of that. Now, you cannot, as you can see, you probably hear I'm trying to click, you can't change any of the names of the fields in here. Even if you go to adjust it, you can't do that. It won't let you. You have to do that within the net sheets themselves. So just know that as you're going through it, but set that. Let's go back to the dashboard. Again, if you have any questions on any of this stuff, please give me a call or shoot me an email. You probably got this video through an email. If not, it's kjonesdeoka@wfgnationaltitle.com. If you want to know the Jones Deoka spelling, it's right there. Sorry, I highlighted wrong. It's right there. So we saw settings. State, county. If you want to change the state and the county that you're in, you can go ahead and click on that, change the state, change the county, or just add in a zip code, apply it, and you'll be back at the dashboard. The reason why that matters is because rates are different in different counties within different states. So if you have a specific county and you want accurate rates, you got to make sure you do that. If you want to customize prints, go ahead and click customize prints. And this is going to be standard branding. So name, company name, contact, email, any messages you have down here. If you want to upload your picture, you upload your picture here. If you had a canvas, you can add a canvas here and do that. But this is going to be standard branding for all of your prints and emails that you're sending out from iBottomline. Again, I heavily suggest you do that. If you have any tutorials you need, click on tutorials and it will go ahead and walk you through the iBottomline tutorial that is probably a little more professionally done than what I just showed you here. Let's go back to the dashboard. Scroll down and enhancements and updates. What enhancements and updates are is as we do any enhancements and updates to iBottomline, they're going to be right in here, so you're going to see that. Let's go back to the dashboard again and click on address book. This is your address book within iBottomline. So as you do stuff for people, you can add new addresses and put people in here as you're working with your clients, and it'll keep all of that for you. So it's just a nice little added benefit. Back to the dashboard. That's really it in iBottomline. So you want to make sure that you go in, you have your photo uploaded. You want to make sure all your settings are correct. You want to make sure that all of your information is there, and then play with it. Have fun with it, and get some net sheets done and send them on out to your clients. If there's anything that you need, again, feel free to call me, shoot me an email, but enjoy, have fun, and go be productive. I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to talking to you very soon and opening your next escrow.